Hey traders, C here, and this is actually a continuation of the previous live stream. There was some technical issues I was actually dealing with, so I had to pretty much exit the room. So again, this is the London or the UK trading session, and really the objectives for me is to really trade it through and see how much money we can make within the session. So we might be executing trades maybe for about an hour or so, or maybe even a bit longer than that. And then we pretty much going to see how much money we're going to actually have. So in the prior video, I actually took a trade, which was on the pound USD. And it actually was a losing trade, as you can see. I took a bullish trade to the upside, and then the market kind of went the other direction, right? Yeah. All right. So yeah, let's actually keep things going for today. And I was actually doing, so let me start off over again with the actual top-down analysis. And I think we just started off again on the Euro USD. We looked at the 15-minute time frame, and I identified a near-term support structure level that one could actually pay attention to. As you can see as well, with the few minutes that has passed, price action is actually bouncing at that structure level. And let's actually go on to the actual 5 minutes and see what price action is doing. So we pretty much are in consolidation, but to the downside, right? And what we initially have is a bearish flag pattern, as you can see, but it's a bearish flag slash wedge pattern, if I may actually put it that way, that you can see here on the Euro USD. And what it actually puts me on, just looking at that in itself, this flag pattern. So let me just copy this line, just paste it below, right? So we are pretty much moving on to the downside, but we are consolidating at the same time, which basically means that, the market is in an indecision mode. So there are possible ways that we could see price action going. We could see price action moving on to the high side, breaking through a near-term resistance. So the red line would indicate where price action, the zone, if I may put it that way, for really the near-term resistance where price action has been playing around on the Euro USD. All right. And the near-term support is at the 23.86 level. So we pretty much have a range of about, let's see, we have a range of about 22 pips, all right, that we can play around with on the Euro USD. And this is, again, the 5-minute time frame. Let's actually go into the 1 minute. And on the 1 minute time frame as well, you can continually see this indecision. And it becomes much more clear on the minute as we have price action testing resistance. We testing and our near-term resistance, then selling off. So again, I could look for price action signals as well to the downside as well here on the Euro USD. So it's a matter of just waiting and seeing if there are any opportunities to the downside that we could take advantage of on the Euro USD. So let's move on to the Euro Yen, but I'll still be paying close attention to the Euro USD. And as you can see, price action, when the minute bar actually closed, if you can see, we had a gap on the next bar. All right, and now price action is selling off. So let's just wait and see on this bar in terms of what it's going to actually do. And if we pretty much close bearish, then it could indicate that, we could be seeing some downward pressure. And taking really a short-term trade is, and again, I'd have to say a decent good idea. And the reason based on that is, let's see, if we're looking at it from a ratio perspective, where price action is, we are about to pretty much hit the 50% retrace level, all right, from my swing high to my swing low. Second of all, we have structure resistance as well. And if that structure resistance is respected, we could see a continuation pull to the downside, all right? So it is worth time to actually invest in terms of just looking at that. So let's actually take a trade on the Euro USD 1 minute. Euro USD, all right? Euro USD, we're going to actually execute on this trade. And it's going to be about a 5-minute expiry. All right. 5 minutes from now, so, and we are bearish. All right, let's take that again. There you go, executed. All right, so again, we're gonna just have to wait and see how that actually trade plays off on the Euro USD. All right, let's move on to the Euro Yen and start things off again on the 15-minute time frame. Again, I've identified that we are range bound to the high side, but we are in essence creating lower highs, but at the same time, we're not really creating new structure highs. So pretty much are in a wedge pattern, right? So we neither creating new structure highs or neither creating new structure lows. And the market basically is in consolidation, all right, on the Euro Yen 15-minute time frame. And let's move on to the 5. And on the 5-minute time frame, same story as well. And go on the minute time frame to identify any solid structure levels. So a structure level that we could pay attention to is roughly here. Again, this is near-term structure. Okay. And we could see a move to the downside, and let me actually make my case for that in terms of why the Euro Yen we could see some bearish rotation. Okay, first of all, we have the current momentum or the current trend is to the downside, right? That's number one. Second of all, what we have is a 50% retrace. I believe it's going to be about a 50% retrace. If we come to that 50% retrace, yeah. So we have a possible 50% zone, all right there. And that zone, in essence, it's really at our near-term resistance level, right? Which again gives me an idea that I could look to actually short at this zone, and it would be a good idea to actually do that. But then we're gonna have to pretty much wait and see on the Euro Yen in terms of if we're gonna get that shorting opportunity. All right. But at the same time, we're having price action moving to the high side, but in a form of consolidation. All right. So let's actually see a short-term wise if we could take a bearish trade to the downside. All right, let's move on to the dollar Swiss. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame. And on the 15, what we have as well here is consolidation as well, but it's consolidation to the upside. Right. All right. And let me just copy this just to identify a channel, right? And what we are at on the 15 as well is we are at near-term resistance as well here. And this near-term resistance, I'll just indicate it with these pretty much arrows. All right, so again, it's near-term resistance, but we are bullish into the high side. So if again if let's say if they're going back to the what I say the if-then thought process, if price action retraces down to my channel line, then I'd actually look to get long on the dollar Swiss. Right, let's actually look at the actual 5-minute time frame and see if there are any trading opportunities as well down there. And yeah, again, I'm on a wait and see mode there on the minute as well. Yeah, so nothing much there as well. But on the minute time frame, we have near-term structure, right? Down here as well. So price action again is actually in consolidation on the dollar Swiss, all right? So that trade as well lost. So our euro dollar trade lost, and because price action continued to the high side, all right? Right. But anyways, let's actually just continue. All right. So we have this near-term support level that we could actually continue to pay attention to. And if I take my swing low to swing high, it's almost near the 50% zone. All right. All right. So our zone initially is over here, the 50%, which again is below structure. But our range is actually a bit bigger than that over there. All right. On the dollar Swiss. All right, so let's actually move on to dollar CAD. 15 minutes. All right. So again, what we have a high close, indicating that the price action is moving on to the high side. All right, so a bullish trend, is in form as well here as well. So we're just gonna have to wait and see in terms of how price action closes, because we could take a long position as well there. So yeah. All right, let's go on to the dollar Swiss. We're looking at that on the minute. And again, what we have a double bottom right here. So price action is actually testing here. And I'm actually thinking of just executing on this trade as well. Here, we've got a double bottom, we've got structure. Dollar Swiss 1 minute, right? So this again would be a price action trade. Dollar Swiss to the upside. Dollar Swiss. There you go. Right, so you're gonna actually take 5. Let's take a call position there. All right, dollar Swiss to the high side. Right, and we've got our indicative factor as well there. Just came as I was actually calling the dollar Swiss. So we'll just have to wait and see in terms of how we actually close on that trade as well. Let's actually move on to the dollar CAD 15 and see if there are any trading opportunities. Okay, we created a higher close, and price action is to the high side as well over here. And we have a bullish channel right there. All right. So you are looking at it from this angle, right? Let's go on to the 5 minutes. Again, we have resistance. So things become more clearer as you move on down to the trading different time frames as well. Right, so we've got resistance there. We've got a micro support over here. So the market is actually stepping up, but we are again in consolidation. Let's actually look at this range. It's a range of about 15 or so pips, right? But trades that I would be considering here is really a bullish trading opportunities on the dollar CAD. All right. Let's look onto the Aussie USD. Let's look at the 15. Let's clean up the chart. All right. On the 15, again, we are still in consolidation, near some support, which again, is slightly being tested. All right. But we are sideways to the downside as well here. So we could see a possible breakout on the Aussie dollar. Just have to wait and see in terms of what this price action actually does there. right? Okay, so again, we could see some buying pressure. Aussie USD 1 minute. So if I take my swing low to swing high, came to the 618. That's a deep retrace from the 50. All right. So from a price action perspective, I would have just executed on that close. But since I actually have a trade on, I can't really execute. Let's look at the pound USD. Let's clean up the chart. 15-minute time frame. Again, we are consolidation to the downside, right? So pretty much has been a strong bearish channel on the pound USD. But right now, from a perspective of really a trade execution, we are at near-term support. And we have that low close. All right. Let's go on to the 5 minute. 5 minutes. Largely trades that would have been won are trades onto the downside. All right. But really nothing much I would be interested in right there. On the pound 5. I think as well on the minutes, nothing much I'd be interested in unless, that was a good opportunity to take a short. All right, let's look at the yen 15. All right, we are pretty much bullish. Okay, and that trade was in the money, taking us to 3752, right? But anyway, let's just continue with that. All right. Okay, so what we have, let me just make this bigger, right? Again, dollar yen 15, we are pretty much to the high side. And if I were to draw my channel, you are looking at bullish opportunity to the high side as well here. So again, if price action tests near-term resistance, near-term support, sorry, then I could look to actually buy the dollar yen. All right. Let's look at the Aussie. What we have. All right, so we have possible trade to the downside. And I believe it's actually coming onto our 50% as well. Yeah. I could actually just take this. We have that 50% retrace. We've got the trend. Aussie USD. 5. Bearish. All right. One, two, three, four, 5. All right, so we just have to wait and see on that. Euro yen 1 minute. We have a lovely opportunity. If I didn't actually take a trade execution on the Aussie USD, I would definitely take this trade on the Euro yen 1 minute time frame. All right, to the downside. Okay. And again, a question that might actually rise up for you is, all right, so we are testing structure. We had a high close. Why then would I continue to take a trade to the downside, knowing that price action is moving on to the high side, creating new structure high? And how I would basically answer that would be the fact that, I have an indicator, all right? Plus, I'm using the overall trend inside as a factor as well here, right? And again, largely trades that, have been executed, short-term trades, the downside, they were trades that, were winners. Again, that also is an indicator factor as well to actually taking a short position trade. Again, near-term support, right? So we have this much space to actually come into as well. All right. Pound USD, we sold off on that one. Yen 15 looks like a good trade opportunity to actually take onto the high side, but I don't execute trades on the 15. On the 5, we are in consolidation, and on the 1, we are in consolidation. But you could take a bearish trade opportunities as well here as well. And reason why I say that, we have our indicator giving us indication that we have a bearish rotation, but we could take a trade to the high side from swing low to swing high if we get to the 50, which is like right now, that zone. Could take a bullish trade, but judging from really what price action is doing, trade to the downside is much more advisable from really a price action standpoint. Let's look at the 15 on the New Zealand, the last currency pair. Then we're pretty much going to be in monitoring mode, which again would be where we're going to be trading pretty aggressively, right? Again, 15 consolidation, near-term support, right? Right, so again, I would look to actually buy if you actually come close on near-term support. Right now, I would be in a bearish mode on the New Zealand 1 minute. All right, so other than that, let's just monitor our setups. Euro yen. Okay, so which trade did I take? Let me just revisit that. All right, it's Aussie USD, and I was bearish on that trade. And we got about a minute before that trade actually expires. Okay. So let's just keep a watch on that. Let's look at the dollar Swiss, giving us an indicator. Right. It's giving us an indicator right at the middle where I would most likely look to actually take a short. Okay, so let's just watch through this trade and see how it actually plays out. All right. Got about 16 seconds or so. Then we have the ability to actually take more trades. All right, so that trade actually lost. The Swiss to the downside. Let's take it again. Dollar Swiss to the down side. To actually take that trade. I believe it's in. Yeah. Right. Why actually executed the trade on dollar Swiss? We had an indicator. We have near-term resistance being tested and held. Right. So we just have to wait and see. All right. On the dollar Swiss. All right. So again, I like to call these types of trade execution as momentum type trades, where we are moving with the current is either bigger trend or really the micro trend. All right. All right. So reason why again I take trades on the 5 is because I want my trade to give it time to actually play out. So my analysis is down on the minute, execution is on the 5. So I'll give it 5 minutes on the expiry. All right. Let's continue just to walk through other currency pairs. Let's look at the minute. We're largely in consolidation. All right. So we have that bullish signal. All right. Right, so let's see if we're gonna have a winner chicken dinner on the dollar Swiss, or this trade is gonna be a loser. So just gonna have to wait and see. All right, so we are building steam to the downside. Trade is currently in the money, but it's no use to really start to get excited when that actually happens, because at any point in time you could see price action reversing from your actual strike price. Because again, a lot can actually happen in just in as simple as 5 seconds. So if you have like news release or so, could have an impact on the currency pair, whether it be the dollar or the other currencies. But it's a matter of just just waiting and seeing in terms of what price action does. So dollar CAD, we have a bearish opportunity. Let's just take a look at it. Dollar CAD. All right. And so we're continuing to push lower. All right. Let's channel. All right. So, but we are largely in consolidation on the dollar CAD though, even though we are sideways down on it. We have about a minute or so and a half. Dollar CAD, again, largely consolidation on the dollar CAD. Indecision in terms of price action, in terms of where the market really wants to go. Got a few seconds before this trade closes. Then we just continue. Have about 20 seconds. almost 10. As I can say, a lot can happen in a few seconds, all right? So we could have price action retracing below our strike price, or actually losing out, as you can see. All right, so let's look for more opportunities. Dollar Swiss, bullish opportunity in the dollar Swiss. All right, let's see. Dollar Swiss with that large bar. Okay. Let's look at the Euro USD. Okay. Euro USD, I would be largely to the downside as well. And let's actually take that trade. Even though it's slightly late, Euro USD to the downside. Euro USD. 95%. All right, so we're just gonna just wait and see. Aussie USD. Aussie USD, I would pretty much look to take trade to the downside. Right now. Euro yen selling off quite strongly, and we are pretty much testing our near-term support level. We just have to wait and see in terms of how that plays out. Dollar Swiss, 1 minute. We're in the money on the Euro USD. Again, basically, okay, not really again, but reason why I actually I'm starting to actually favor trading binary options as well is again the fast execution. Second of all, is really it really does test your pretty much your trade plan at the end of the day, and your psychology. You need to be pretty strong to actually do this type of trading, because you can have a losing streak, which can hurt. This is a nice buying opportunity. Buy trade to the high side. Tested structure. All right, so yeah, so pretty much it is a psychological challenge for myself, which I largely enjoy to take part in. And yeah, it's largely psychology, irrespective of really the money side. You know, the money comes, as the more sharper you become as a trader, then, you pretty much, as you're doing this constantly, you are edging yourself or sharpening yourself to really become really a good trader. So Euro USD trade now is turning against us. Let's see. Yeah, it's actually turning against us, and it's actually pushing onto the high side now. Then we got pound GBP. We are bullish. Let's watch this resistance zone. Bullish. Still sideways consolidation. Euro yen bullish as well. Euro USD. All right. So again, it's obvious that this trade is going to be a loser. Right. Dollar Swiss continuing to really push lower. Created a low close. It's really a nice momentum type trade to take to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 6 bearish bars. The yen could look to actually buy this. Just as a structure trade. New Zealand.